Hey, welcome back to the Mad Arsenal. In 2019, a company nobody had heard of rolled a brand new armored fighting vehicle onto the floor of the world's biggest arms show and said, "We built this, in the UAE from scratch." The vehicle was called the Wahash, and the name tells you something right away. Calidus, the manufacturer, markets it as the wild Falcon. But the actual Arabic word, wash, means beast, monster, something untamed. As you'll find out, that's the more honest description. The Wahash is an 8x8 wheeled, multi-role armored fighting vehicle, developed by UAE-based Calidus LLC, founded in 2015 in Abu Dhabi, in collaboration with South African engineering firm ADG Mobility. ADG was launched in 2017 by the founding team of Land Mobility Technologies, a company with roots going back to 1999. Their engineers carry around 30 years of collective experience in armored vehicle design, 4x4, 6x6, and 8x8 platforms, with over 1,400 completed projects across 5 continents. This is the same South African engineering school that produced some of the world's most effective mine-protected vehicle designs, now applied to a next-generation 8x8 platform. The two companies spent approximately 2 years taking the Wahash from blank page to running prototype, an aggressive timeline for a vehicle of this complexity. Why an 8x8 and not a tracked IFV? The advantages are well established: faster on roads, lower logistical footprint, easier strategic transport, no damage to road surfaces. The 8x8 segment has been the hottest category in the armored vehicle market for over a decade. Platforms like the American Striker, the Finnish Patria AMV, the German Boxer, and the Swiss Piranha have been ordered in massive numbers by armies that previously relied on tracked vehicles.
The Wahash was designed to compete directly in that market, with a platform built specifically around the operational requirements of desert, coastal, and amphibious environments. The basic numbers first. Crew, 3. Driver, commander, gunner. Capacity, 8 dismounts in the rear troop compartment. Combat weight, 32,100 kilograms. Maximum payload, 10,800 kilograms. Length, 8.5 meters. Width, 3.1 meters. Height, 2.7 meters without turret. The dimensions are such that a Boeing C-17 Globemaster III can carry 2 Wahash vehicles simultaneously, a key air transportability requirement that shaped everything from width to weight. Now the hull. At first glance, the Wahash looks familiar: sloped sides, high ground clearance, angular geometry. Spend a few minutes with the engineering details, and the picture changes. The hull is a monocoque steel structure, a single continuous shell rather than a frame with bolted panels. Monocoque construction is stiffer, lighter for the same strength, and eliminates the weak points that come with joints and brackets. The sides of the hull are steeply angled, and according to Calidus engineer Peter Radulovic, that geometry alone reduces vehicle mass by 30 to 40% compared to achieving the same protection level with vertical plates. You get equivalent protection for significantly less weight. On an amphibious vehicle, every kilogram saved is a kilogram of buoyancy kept. The underside is not V-shaped despite appearances. Radulovic describes it as a diamond shape, engineered to deflect blast energy outward and away from the crew compartment, but through a geometry distinct from the classic South African V-hull formula. The result? The Wahash withstands a 10-kilogram TNT explosion under the center of the vehicle, or under any of the wheels. That's STANAG 4569 Level 4B mine protection. A 50-kilogram TNT detonation at 5 meters distance, and a roadside bomb built from a 155mm artillery shell. All of this has been independently certified, not just claimed on a brochure. Ballistic protection runs to STANAG 4569 Level 4 across the entire vehicle, including the engine compartment. That means resistance to 14.5mm armor-piercing rounds. The driver's windscreen is also rated Level 4, with an additional hydraulic opaque ballistic shield that drops over it entirely. The driver then navigates using vision blocks and a camera system. The all-round situational awareness camera system means the crew can monitor their surroundings without exposing themselves above the armor line. IED and fragmentation protection is built into the baseline design, not bolted on afterward. The 8 dismounts in the rear compartment sit on tech energy-absorbing seats, designed to manage the shock of a mine blast traveling up through the vehicle structure, with their feet on a false floor that provides additional blast isolation. The protected troop volume is 13.5 cubic meters. There's a corridor on the left side of the hull connecting the driver's position forward to the troop section aft, with the engine located forward on the right. Exit is through 2 rear-hinged doors, with roof hatches providing additional options.
The suspension is independent double wishbone hydropneumatic on all 4 axles, 8 wheels total. The Wahash can climb a 70% gradient, handle a 40% side slope, step over a 0.8-meter vertical obstacle, and cross a 2-meter wide trench without preparation. The Kala ride height adjustment system lets the driver raise or lower the vehicle depending on terrain. A damaged brake line doesn't mean total brake failure. The Nor-Bremse system is designed so that if a pneumatic line is hit, an automatic valve isolates it and the vehicle loses only 1 brake circuit. This was tested under live fire with armor-piercing rounds, fragmentation mines, and hand grenades. The brake system remained operational throughout. Engine: Scania DC-13, 6-cylinder turbocharged diesel, 724 horsepower. Transmission: ZF7AP2600SP automatic, 7 forward and 2 reverse speeds. Transfer case: Katsa. Top road speed: 130 km per hour. Range: 750 km. Power to weight ratio: approximately 22.5 horsepower per ton. Competitive with most vehicles in this class, and better than several of the heavier European 8x8s. 130 km per hour in a 32-ton armored vehicle. That is faster than most cars on a highway. The Wahash is fully amphibious. No preparation required beyond a brief check. 2 propellers mounted at the lower rear corners of the hull push it through water at up to 10 km per hour in Beaufort scale Sea State 2 conditions. Light waves with whitecaps, not just calm ponds. It fords a 2-meter deep river without preparation. When the vehicle enters water, the cooling system switches to a keel cooling setup with a water-to-water heat exchanger. The vehicle swims at its full combat weight of 32.1 tons, with up to 7.5 tons of payload. If payload needs to go higher, up to 34 tons gross, buoyancy elements can be added, extending slightly beyond the hull sides. Operating temperature range: -30 to +55 degrees Celsius. The +55 figure is a hard design requirement built in from day one, not an afterthought. The weapons fit is modular by design. The roof is engineered to support everything from a 7.62mm machine gun in a remote weapon station, all the way up to a complete powered turret. The generic vehicle architecture, a digital backbone running through the vehicle, allows C4ISR systems, communications equipment, and weapon stations to be integrated without rebuilding the platform each time. Same chassis, different mission fit. The first and most important thing to understand about this modularity is what it means in practice. The Wahash isn't a vehicle with one job that can be slightly adapted for another.
It is a platform deliberately engineered to accept fundamentally different weapon systems, each turning it into a different class of fighting vehicle entirely. Over the course of its development from 2019 to 2025, 5 distinct weapon configurations were demonstrated or deployed. Let's go through each one. Configuration 1. BM-3M Sturm. This was the debut fit, shown at IDEX 2019. Ukrainian-made remote-controlled turret from the Kyiv armored plant. Armament: ZTM-1 30mm automatic cannon, KT 7.62mm coaxial machine gun, KBA-117 30mm automatic grenade launcher, 6902B smoke grenade dischargers, and 2 Barer anti-tank guided missile launchers with a range of 5 kilometers.
The entire system is remotely operated. The gunner controls everything from inside the hull, never exposing themselves above the armor line. The 30mm cannon handles light armor, infantry, and low-flying aircraft. The bearer missiles extend the anti-armor reach to 5 kilometers, well beyond the engagement range of most IFV-mounted systems at the time. In this configuration, the Wahash functions as a fully capable infantry fighting vehicle, able to suppress, engage armor at range, and protect its dismounts without putting the crew at risk. The BM-3M fit also established the partnership with Ukraine's Ukr Spec Export, signed the day after the IDEX 2019 debut, covering joint production and international marketing of this specific variant. Configuration 2. BMP-3 turret. Shown at IDEX 2021. This is the complete turret from the Soviet-designed BMP-3 infantry fighting vehicle, one of the most heavily armed IFV turrets ever produced. The package includes a 100mm 2A70 rifled gun, capable of firing both conventional high-explosive rounds and 9 M117 Bastion laser-guided anti-tank missiles directly through the barrel, a 30mm 2A72 autocannon, and a 7.62mm PKT coaxial machine gun. The 100mm gun firing the Bastion missile gives an effective anti-tank range of 4 kilometers. The autocannon handles lighter targets independently. This configuration pushes the Wahash beyond standard IFV capability into territory normally reserved for dedicated tank destroyers. The BMP-3 turret has a particularly deep basket that extends well into the hull, which is why the Wahash's internal layout was designed around it from the start. If you engineer a hull to accept the BMP-3 basket, you've built structural margins that accommodate almost anything else in the medium caliber category. Configuration 3. 105mm gun turret. Also shown at IDEX 2021, where the BMP-3 variant gave the Wahash tank destroyer capability. The 105mm fit gives it light tank capability. A 105mm rifled gun, firing standard NATO ammunition, including armor-piercing, fin-stabilized discarding sabot rounds, can penetrate the frontal armor of older main battle tanks and the side and rear armor of most current ones. This configuration turns the Wahash into a fire support vehicle, capable of engaging tanks directly at ranges exceeding 2 kilometers, from a platform that weighs roughly half what a main battle tank does and moves at twice the road speed. The combination of mobility, low logistics burden, and 105mm firepower is exactly what light armored brigades and rapid reaction forces have been looking for since the end of the Cold War. Configuration 4. Korkut Air Defense Turret, shown at IDEX 2025. Manufactured by Turkey's Aselsan, and until this integration, never mounted on any platform outside Turkey. 2 35mm revolver cannons, combined rate of fire of 1,100 rounds per minute. Effective engagement range of 4 to 5 kilometers, with an integrated ACREP 100G fire control radar and electro-optical tracking system built directly into the turret. It fires standard 35mm ammunition and the Atom 35 programmable airburst round. Each round is programmed by the fire control system to detonate at a precise point along its trajectory, scattering metal fragments over a wide area above the target. Unlike proximity-fused rounds, the Atom 35 is resistant to electronic jamming. The Korkut system in Turkish Army service has been used operationally to defeat both unmanned aerial vehicles and ground targets.
In this configuration, the Wahash turret assembly weighs 7,000 kilograms, bringing gross combat mass to 34,000 kilograms, the upper edge of the platform's envelope, but within it. What you end up with is a 130 km/h amphibious vehicle capable of putting 1,100 rounds per minute of 35mm ammunition into the sky, engaging targets at up to 5 kilometers. For an era in which small armed drones have become the most common cause of armored vehicle losses on modern battlefields, this configuration addresses a threat that most IFV-class vehicles have no answer to at all. Configuration 5. Wahash LIFV with Nefer turret. The light infantry fighting vehicle unveiled at IDEX 2025. This is a separate but closely related vehicle sharing the Wahash's core automotive package, same Scania DC-13 engine, same ZF transmission, built from the outset around an unmanned turret rather than adapted to fit one. Base weight 21,000 kilograms. Dimensions 8 meters long, 2.9 meters wide, 2.4 meters high. Not amphibious. Exit via rear ramp rather than hinged doors. Maximum speed 130 kilometers per hour. Range 700 kilometers. The LIFV was shown with the Aselsan Nefer unmanned turret, 2 A42 30mm cannon, the same caliber as the BMP-3S in UAE service, chosen deliberately to simplify logistics, and twin launchers for the Al-Haida anti-tank guided missile, a Calidus-developed system with a range of 10 kilometers. 10 kilometers. At that range, most main battle tanks are operating at or beyond the limit of their own fire control systems. The LIFV is lighter, cheaper to operate, easier to transport, and carries an anti-armor punch that significantly outranges anything it is likely to face.
For armies that need a capable IFV without the full weight and cost of the amphibious platform, it fills a distinct operational gap. Now, the timeline of how this family of vehicles came together. IDEX 2019, Abu Dhabi, February 17th. Public debut with 2 running prototypes and the BM-3M Sturm turret. No confirmed orders. On February 18th, Calidus and Ukraine's UKR Spec Export signed a memorandum of understanding to jointly produce and market the BM-3M variant. IDEX 2021, same venue. 2 new variants. The BM-P3 turret fit and the 105mm gun variant. Both demonstrated the platform's structural margins and its growth potential beyond the original IFV configuration. World Defense Show 2024, Saudi Arabia. The Wahash ran in live outdoor demonstrations, moving, maneuvering, performing in an open-air exercise environment rather than standing on a static display floor. The first time the platform was demonstrated under realistic conditions to an international audience. IDEX 2025, Abu Dhabi. The Korkut air defense variant, the LIFV, and the first confirmed production contract, 2.36 billion UAE dirhams,
approximately 595 million euros, for an undisclosed number of Wahash IFVs for an undisclosed Middle Eastern customer. On the second day of the show, Aselsan and Calidus signed a formal cooperation agreement covering technology transfer and joint development. The program moved from development project to production reality in a single exhibition.
The Wahash enters a crowded market. The Patria AMV has been ordered by 11 countries. The Boxer is in service with Germany, the Netherlands, Australia, Lithuania, and others. The Striker is deployed across the US Army and multiple Allied forces. These platforms have the one thing the Wahash doesn't yet have: a long operational record. Armies are conservative institutions, and a track record matters more than specifications on a datasheet. The honest weaknesses are straightforward. As of early 2025, confirmed production stands at 2 prototype vehicles. The Wahash has never been manufactured at scale, never gone through the grinding process of series production, where the gap between prototype performance and the 100th unit off the line becomes painfully apparent. Supply chain management, quality control across hundreds of vehicles, field maintenance feedback, operator-identified design issues. None of that has happened yet. The first contract is the real test, and results won't be visible for years. The weapons supply chain has already shifted once. The Ukrainian partnership, BM3M Sturm turret, UKR spec export agreement signed at IDEX 2019, was built around a supplier that is no longer in a position to fulfill export orders. The pivot to Turkish systems, formalized with Aselsan at IDEX 2025, replaces that dependency. Whether the new supply chain proves as reliable under pressure is an open question. But the modular architecture means the platform is not locked to any single weapon supplier, a genuine structural advantage over vehicles designed around a fixed armament. Look at what the competition offers on that specific point. The Striker mobile gun system carries a 105mm gun, but it is a single-role vehicle. You cannot reconfigure it as an air defense platform or a standard IFV. The Boxer addresses this through its mission module system, but module swaps require depot-level work and a complete set of interchangeable pods. The Patria AMV offers good modularity, but tops out at medium-caliber weapons in its standard configurations. The Wahash's architecture, by contrast, has demonstrated the ability to accept a remotely operated 30mm system, a full BMP-3 turret with 100mm gun, and ATGM, a 105mm direct-fire gun, a 1,100 rounds per minute 35mm air defense system, and a 10-kilometer ATGM fit on the LIFV variant, all on the same basic hull, without structural modifications. That range of configurations across a single platform is uncommon at any level of the market. From a purely military standpoint, the full specification package holds up. STANAG 4569 Level 4 ballistic protection across the entire vehicle, including the engine compartment. Level 4B mine protection, 10 kilograms of TNT under center or wheel. Resistance to a 50-kilogram TNT blast at 5 meters and to IEDs built from 155mm artillery shells. Full amphibious capability at combat weight, 10 kilometers per hour in Sea State 2 without preparation. Power-to-weight ratio of 22.5 horsepower per ton. Road speed of 130 kilometers per hour. Range of 750 kilometers. Air transportable 2 per C-17. Operating temperature from -30 to +55 degrees Celsius. The full range from Central Asian winter to Arabian summer with no degradation. The weapon architecture covers 5 distinct mission profiles on one chassis. Standard IFV with remote 30mm and ATGM. Heavy IFV
with 100mm gun and laser-guided missiles, fire support with 105mm direct fire capability, short-range air defense with 35mm dual barrel at 1,100 rounds per minute, and the lighter LIFV variant with 30mm cannon and 10km ATGM on a 21-ton platform. No other vehicle in this class currently offers that range of credible configurations from a single hull. None of the weaknesses are fatal. Every platform now considered proven was once exactly where the Wahash is today. Technically credible, commercially unproven, waiting for the first production contract to become real. That contract arrived at IDEX 2025. What follows will determine whether the beast from Abu Dhabi earns its name on the battlefield, or remains a very capable machine that never quite made it to the fight. That's the Wahash 8x8. Subscribe to the Mad Arsenal so you don't miss what's coming next. Hit like. It helps the channel more than you'd think. Drop a comment below. What military vehicle do you want covered next? See you in the next one.